with all the latest direct from the NBL?
That is enormous!
Well, download the free NBL app now. It's jam-packed with live scores, stats, exclusive content, and much more. Get it from the App Store and Google Play now.
That's the second of our doubleheader here on night 3 of the Blitz. Australia's favourite playground here on the Gold Coast, joined by Liam Santa Maria. And we're going to see the reigning champs, the Sydney Kings, for the first time in this Blitz, taking on the South East Phoenix, who are playing their second game. We're coming off the back of Melbourne United, who just had a big win against the Illawarra Hawks. But Sydney Kings, all eyes are on them. They've got basically a new starting 5. They've kept their second unit intact, but they are looking to make it a three-peat, and we get a first chance to see them tonight.
Looking forward to it. They've been a little under wraps, the Kings, in the pre-season thus far. They've played one closed-door scrimmage against the New Zealand Breakers, and they're the last team to step out here at the NBL Blitz. So really looking forward to seeing some of these guys that we haven't yet seen on the NBL floor. Jonah Bolden, Denzel Valentine in particular. Looking forward to seeing what those guys bring to the table, and of course the next star, Alex Tui, as well.
Well, they are going to be without a couple of their superstars in this hit-out tonight. DJ Hogue is sitting out with a shoulder injury. Sam Timmins, who's come across from the Breakers, will be out with a calf, and we've just found out in the last few minutes that Jalen Adams will miss the game with illness, so that's disappointing, the former MVP. And from the South East Phoenix, well, they played on Saturday night and lost to the Tassie Jack Jumpers by 13 points. They're also going to be missing a few of their star players. Mitch Creek will sit out with a calf injury. Gorjak Gak will miss with an ankle. Matt Kenyon and Craig Moller are not suited up either. But what did you make of their first hit out on Saturday night against the Tassie Jack Jumpers?
It was interesting. I mean, obviously some key pieces, as you say. Without the Phoenix, without Mitch Creek, it's really hard to fully get a handle of what it's going to look like, because he's such an important piece to that puzzle. But I was very impressed with the player Tyler Cook. Really savvy play by my man Tommy Greer to get a replacement, a high-level replacement, in so quickly after it was established that Alan Williams was going to be out for, the first part of the season. So he looks good. Gary Brown was doing his thing, needs to get going a little bit more on the scoreboard. And then Will Cummings showed in that first quarter that he's a guy that can be a real weapon. So some good signs from that import trio in that opening game.
Of course, Tyler Cook had the 18 points and 11 boards against Tasmania on Saturday. Spent a bit of time bouncing around the NBA in recent years, the Chicago Bulls, and of course he's that injury replacement for big Alan Williams. And do we have a rough time frame on Alan Williams? Has there been some sort of update? He's going to miss, we don't know, an extended time. We're not sure exactly how long.
I mean, I think the fact that they bring in Cook suggests that, it's not going to be a super quick turnaround. You're going to bring in a guy at that kind of level. He's going to need to know that he's at least going to get some legitimate games under his belt to begin the season. So, yeah, I mean, that import trio, there's Gary Brown on the screen right there. We know they're going to play a huge part in what this Phoenix team's able to do this season.
And of course, both teams have new coaches for the first time. Mike Kelly previously coached the Cairns Taipans, of course, and a Coach of the Year. He's stepping out for his second game in charge in this Blitz. And Mahmoud Abdel Fattah is coaching the Sydney Kings. What can you tell us about him?
Well, he's a great dude, first and foremost. Had a chance to meet with him and spend some time with Coach Abdel Fattah. Really great energy, super positive guy. And he comes out of that G League NBA system from which the Sydney Kings have had a lot of success with their head coaching over recent times. Of course, Will Weaver, Long Island Nets, a G League Coach of the Year. He takes the Kings to a grand final appearance. Then they bring in Chase Buford. Similar type of credentials. He takes them to back-to-back championships. So they want to play an up-tempo style. Abdel Fattah was with the RGV Vipers in that Houston Rockets system. G League championship, G League Coach of the Year, plays high tempo. So he fits the mold of what they want to be and what they want to do.
So he says he has energy. Does he have as much energy as Chase Buford, or not quite that level energy?
He just might channel it in a slightly different way. Also super competitive, but the guys are really enjoying being coached by him from what they've been saying.
Well, we'll also get to Kelsey Brown, who's going to be part of the call team again for this second of the doubleheader. Kelsey, what are you looking forward to seeing tonight?
I'm really excited to watch Sydney Kings, actually, in their first game of the NBL Blitz. Jonah Bolden is the player that I want to watch back in the game after almost 4 years out of it. Ex-NBA player. I want to see how Sydney Kings utilise him in this game today.
He's going to be fascinating, isn't he? What sort of touch he's in, what sort of shape, and what sort of impact Jonah Bolden can have. We know that he's been a star in previous years. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, he's going to be such an important piece to what this team will be and what they can be, because the upside is tantalizing. You know, we know obviously he is a guy that has NBA tools. He has some NBA experience, and you know, with his size and that skill set, the ability to step out, stretch it, knock it down from long range. But how long will it take for him to regain that confidence, that touch, that rhythm? Will be really interesting to see over the course of this preseason.
Well, for those that are listening on the KO Freebies, you'll be treated to the old man, Bruce Bolden, NBL royalty. He's going to step in the commentary for a little bit, so we look forward to that at some stage throughout the call. But both teams are only less than 2 minutes away. There are other two coaches exchanging handshakes and hugs. And of course, Mike Kelly having a crack with his Southeast Phoenix side that need to focus on their defence, don't they? It was a facet last year that let them down. What type of coach is Mike Kelly?
He's a coach guys love playing for. You know, he was a defensive hound in his own right. Back in the day, Mike Kelly.
Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, multiple times. Yeah. And so, you know, he knows what it takes to get it done at that end of the floor. Can he transition that knowledge across to this group and get them to elevate at that end? Because they have been one of the highest scoring, most efficient offensive teams every year since they've been in the league. But it's their defense at times over the course of their existence that has let them down. So that's the end of the floor in which they need to make the big jump this season.
Well, the starting fives for both these teams will be Will Cummings, the import, and Tyler Cook. We touched on Ruben Tarangi, who's been around, still only 28 years of age. I was doing some prep on him. You feel like he's been around for forever. He has been, but he's going to start along with Gary Brown, the other import, and Reece Vague, who's back for the Southeast Phoenix. And for the Sydney Kings, Jordan Hunter, Jalen Galloway's going to get a start. Sean Bruce, the captain. Alex Tui, who will touch on the next start. And Denzel Valentine, a player that's had a heap of NBA experience, who she's going to be a handy addition for the Sydney Kings.
Well, that's another guy really looking forward to seeing what he can do. I mean, this is a bona fide NBA player. You know, he wasn't just a guy just kind of operating on that NBA fringe. Big time collegiate. You know, a guy that was playing legitimate minutes and getting a lot done for the Bulls at the NBA level. So what can he bring? Can he translate his game from that type of setting into the NBL? Sometimes it happens with spectacular success, other times not so much. So fascinated to see what he looks like with this first hit out against this Phoenix squad.
A nice crowd here, Gold Coast Convention Centre, hosting all the games through this Blitz. Been plenty happening. Reece Vague, of course, former Perth Wildcat. Spent a few years in Japan. He's been around the edges of the Boomer squad. He's going to add pretty much as a backup for Mitch Creek. We're only in the 4 spot, but he'll get some minutes today without Mitch Creek playing.
That man right there, Tyler Cook. A lot of people around the league, a lot of super coach players, really interested to get a good look at him in this preseason, because, you know, came out, as you said, 18 and 11, had a couple assists. Looks like a guy who can produce in a variety of ways, and another chance to get a good look at him today. And there's Jordy Hunter. He's going to start at the 5 spot ahead of Jonah Bolden in this one. And, you know, he feels like a guy who can also come out and have a big season.
We're ready to get this underway. Sydney Kings in action for the first time, priming themselves to see if they can win a three-peat for the second time in the club's history. We'll get a first look at them straight away with Jordan Hunter.
Wow, fun play off the tip from the Kings, trying to get their 5-man Jordy Hunter downhill. A little small to big ball screen. as Geordie Hunter tries to turn the corner and draws the foul.
This is Valentine with the ball. Of course, Bruce. Back to Bruce. The kick out, that's a good start. Jalen Galloway, another one who's going to continue to improve as a player.
Oh, 100%. He's ready to blossom. A little bit of time at the Summer League with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yet another guy developed his game at the center of excellence. And showed some signs last season for that championship-winning Sydney squad, playing key minutes in big games with big defensive roles. He's got some offensive game to show the potential of this season as well.
Still only 20 years of age, Jalen Galloway. And here's Cummings. Fast start Saturday night in that loss to the Jack Jumpers, looking to go to work early. Good defense from Alex Tui, and then Galloway again gets the finish and the foul.
Well, that was impressive. Alex Tui, the ability to slide the feet, stay in front, the length to contest, sends the shot away, sparks the break. And then Galloway is on the attack. The handle in transition, takes the contact, and one opportunity.
Here's Gary Brown. He's back with the Phoenix again for his second season. He's some time last year with some injury, but we know how important a player he will be. This is vague. Brown wanting to get it inside to Cook. And in the end tried to force it. Good hands from Valentine. Bruce will kick it back to Valentine, who can knock down a shot and couldn't get that to fall. Here's Tui. Just left it behind after getting the offensive board, and then some fancy moves from Cummings and gets it back. First points of the night for the Southeast Magic. Melbourne. Southeast Magic. Southeast Melbourne. Channeling the Mike Kelly. There is Galloway.
Oh,
what a fast start.
Jalen Galloway going to work here early in the first quarter. Knocking it down from range, pushing in transition, and there, all over the rim.
All 7 points for Galloway as Cook throws it down.
He's got some explosiveness in his own right. He's Tyler Cook.
Big unit.
Yeah, he's not as tall as some of the other fives he's going to come across the league throughout the start of the season, but strong, explosive, high basketball IQ, and I think he's going to be a handful.
Turns 26 next week is Tyler Cook. Here he is trying to force it as Cummings drawn the foul. Will Cummings, a 30-year-old who's been around for a long time, a lot of European basketball. Plenty of experience, played in Greece, China, Germany. He's been a French League MVP.
Well, we talk about those guys that come in from the NBA system, but a lot of NBL coaches and executives love to bring guys in with FIBA experience. Guys who have played in Europe, played at a high level, won MVP trophies. As Valentine lines that one up, can't hit, and Cummings certainly brings those kind of credentials to the NBL this season.
And Cook just too strong for Tui. Gets to the basket, draws the foul.
That's tough. When your five-man can do that in transition. Advance it, puts the Jets on, and then you're right, too big, too strong, all the way to the rim.
As we said, this is the injury replacement for Alan Williams. Has the NBA experience, and he started nicely again tonight. 7 apiece, early stages. And here's a good look at Alex Tui. What can you tell us about Alex Tui? Liam, what are you excited to see?
Well, it's the versatility with Tui. He can play, across the perimeter. He can switch defensively. He can step up and shoot it. Fouled there. He's going to go to the line for 3 free throws. So this is a kid, he's been at the center of excellence the last couple of years. One of the absolute elite top prospects coming out of Australia. From the ACT, MVP of the Under-20 National Championships as a bottom-age guy in 2022. Then he went over to the NBA Academy Games in Atlanta and just blew up. Tore it to shreds. And it was there that his recruitment this time last year just went to a whole nother level. That's when we started to engage in conversation, and you know, his recruitment took a couple of twists and turns along the way. Committed to Gonzaga, decommitted, now he's with the Sydney Kings as the next star. But man, this is a guy with a really bright future, and the Kings are really excited what he's going to bring for them this season.
Plenty of the scouts here tonight. Their eyeballs are watching him closely as he makes 2 of his 3. Kings lead by 2. Early stages. So Melbourne United just beat the Illawarra Hawks in the earlier game by 14 points. Matthew Dellavedova, 17 points in the opening term. There's a turnover from Vague. Opens the door for the Kings to find Valentine. Back to Bruce. And there's Tui. Good athleticism.
Well, something he does really well, Alex, too. He crashed the offensive glass. He's more athletic than people realize, and he just has a real sense for it.
And there he is again, getting up and now running the floor. Galloway, he's started hot. Now the Kings will get through their set. Shot clock down to 9. Galloway thought about it and then thought he'll go straight to the basket.
Oh, boy.
He's up and about.
How explosive is that first step? He's coming into this season showing another level of athletic pop and explosiveness. Yet again, coming out of his work in the preseason.
Out by 6. Brown's got a matchup he likes on Hunter. Step back. That one's short. The Kings will look to push the ball up the floor, and that's an easy layup in transition for Valentine. And Mike Kelly's seen enough. He calls a timeout.
Well, he's getting to the cup. They are getting to the cup, the Sydney Kings. 1 of 4 from long range, but 6 of 9 now overall. 5 of 5 from 2-point territory. So just on the attack, relentless heat on the rim. That's what we've got to see from Sydney over these last couple of years as champions with Chase Buford, and very much the same approach here we've seen thus far. That was some fun down the other end for Tyler Cook up above the rim, but having all kinds of trouble in defensive transition as the Kings put heat on the rim.
So Luke Longley and Andrew Bogut are in the house. They're watching their Kings. So Alex Tui got a couple of mentors that he can bounce off who have done something similar.
Oh, for sure. Great mentors, guys with NBA experience, guys who have come through the Aussie system and got it done for our national team over a long period of time. So for sure, it's huge for the Kings, man, not just for recruiting a kid like Tui as a next star, but recruiting all their players, their NBA connections in ownership, right throughout the coaching staff. You know, and Paul Smith does a fabulous job with this club of their self-awareness. Now, some people would listen to that and say, what are you talking about? He called them the Hoops Capital before they'd even got anything done. But he knows the fact that he likes to consider the Kings as an intersection. We want guys that want to come into our organization that are looking to take their game to another level. Get a big pay packet somewhere, get to the NBA, and those connections throughout the organization, hugely beneficial for him in that regard.
Here's Cummings. Again, he's got the mismatch on Hunter. Ben Air checks into the game. His first minutes, the former Taipan, and they go into Cook. He's got the advantage on Bruce, so takes full advantage and again draws the foul. Good start from Tyler Cook, continuing his good form.
Good patience from the Phoenix. Got the mismatch and they just took their time. Got it down low to Tyler Cook, and he was always going to go to work against Sean Bruce. Tough physical guy, but well and truly oversized down low. And Tyler Cook, let's go right out on the record as early as possible, is going to be an enormous handful in this league over these first couple of months of the season. He's going to put up some massive numbers and going to be huge for this club.
Let's get to Kelsey Brown, who was in at that huddle with Mike Kelly during the break.
Speaking of Tyler Cook, he was the one that was quite energetic and vocal in that timeout. He was asking questions of his teammates. He wanted more energy. He's the one really setting the tone here.
7 of the 9 points already, Tyler Cook.
Well, he's a baller. He's an NBA player. And, you know, they've sold him on the opportunity to come in here, rock out for a hot little minute, and then go, bounce back and get another NBA contract. So he's a big-time player coming in for a good time, not necessarily a long time, and he's going to get some things done.
So he'll want to impress while all these scouts are here, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. It's every single guy stepping out at the Blitz this week has that in the back of their mind.
They know, yeah.
And you talk about Tyler Cook, Matthew Dellavedova. Every single, a kid like everyone who, Alex Tui, Jalen Galloway, they know the eyeballs that are sitting on that front row here tonight.
That's why we're getting the quality ball that we're already seeing. It's been quality from the Kings early. They lead by 8. And the Phoenix get something going on offense, but Galloway, in fact, Glover, commits the foul.
I'll give you an example about that, Joey. Between the games there's a little function for the scouts and opportunity for Jeremy Lowliger, the commissioner, to say a few words of welcome to our friends from the association. I was chatting with someone in there and they were saying, man, tell me more about that kid, Flynn Cameron.
Yeah, right.
He was really impressive. And so everyone has an opportunity to step out and impress and make a name for himself.
Clever tip from Noy. Got it to Bruce. Here's Galloway again. Putting on a show. 11 points already for Jalen Galloway. And there's some scouts jotting down some notes on Jalen Galloway.
100%. And it's the relentless push of the ball from the Kings. They get a stop and they are off to the races. And it's not just the guy with the rock either. Run the lane like Galloway did there and you'll get your opportunities.
Cook will go to the free throw line again. Both teams in foul trouble. Mike Kelly brings on a bit of youth. Owen Foxwell and Cody Statman check into the game. Try and get a bit of energy going. Struggling with his free throws at the moment. Tyler Cook leaving a few points on the floor. And they lead by 10, the Kings. This time Galloway kicks it out. First look at Bolden. Good hustle from Galloway. Keeps possession. And now Bruce wide open. Missed his first couple. Tyler Cook looking to, again, get down low with that mismatch. And a nice bit of touch too. So got the finesse to match the power.
Well, it's the second time he's found Sean Bruce there on the block, Tyler Cook, and I'm not sure why the Kings aren't sending a double. Help required.
Here's Noy. One of the heroes of the title defence last season for the Kings. And they've doubled the Phoenix score. Here's Vague finding Statman. He's long on that one.
Great closeout, Quatnoy. The skip pass to Reese Vague. He took away the three, slid his feet. As Owen Foxwell gets called for the blocking foul, jumping in front of Jonah Bolden. He gets a chance to step to the stripe and score his first NBL preseason points.
.27 years of age now, Jonah Bolden. played a lot with Philly. Stepped away from basketball 2020. He's missed his first couple of free throws, maybe a few nerves. There's Ben Air now, looks to up the tempo, draws a foul, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Well, this is an NBL Blitz lineup from the Kings, from the Phoenix. Sorry, if ever I've seen one. This is a 5-man lineup we're not going to see at any point over the course of the regular season. But with all those guys out, no Creek, Moller, Gack, Kenyon in this one. Mike Kelly ringing the changes. So the DPs in Austin Rapp and Cody Statman and Anzac Rosetto. Ben Air, and Foxwell, very young lineup out there on the floor.
Rosetto misses both. Both teams having trouble from the stripe in this first quarter. And Statman getting up into the grill of Valentine. And good active play from Foxwell. It draws the foul and the finish. That's what Mike Kelly wants to see.
Tough finish from Air. Good read from Foxwell. Has such great defensive instincts. And then the drop-off pass, finish through the contact. Ben Air is a guy obviously lit it up at points in that semi-final series for the Taipans against the Kings. And a bit of a change of scenery for him this year, coming down south to the Phoenix.
And another one who can't finish his work from the free throw line. I'll go to the stripe again, the Sydney Kings. Jonah Bolden, who missed his first couple of free throws. Now Nort from 3. Aquach Malawatch checks into the game. So Nort from 4 so far for Bolden from the free throw line. Now Foxwell draws another foul.
He's going to go to the stripe. Kings over the limit as well. So Foxwell bringing a little bit of energy at the defensive end, sparking transition, and here attacking off the bounce, coming off a really good NBL 1 season for the Eltham Wildcats in the NBL 1 South, and elevated to a full roster spot this season.
So back to 7. The stop-start first quarter. A lot of fouls committed. We've seen plenty of highlights, particularly from Cook and Galloway. And here's Valentine. That's a move. Just long on the shot, and Rapp gets the rebound. Now Foxwell will let it fly. And another whistle on the rebound.
Good strong work on the glass. Anzac Rosetto, this young group for the Phoenix has done a good job over these last couple of minutes. I'll get blown off the floor a few minutes ago, the Phoenix. Well, we're going the other way here. Was that a foul on the Phoenix? Okay. I thought Rosetto was going to be going to the free throw line, but they've steadied the ship here a little bit. Looked like they were going to go into the quarter time break with a massive deficit, the Phoenix, but they're working their way back in this ball game.
Been able to slow the Kings down. They've missed plenty of free throws, and Glover gets a bit lucky on that one. Of course, the hero of that championship series against New Zealand last year, playing with those rib injury, stepping up when they needed him.
Big time.
Back for another year.
Worked his way into NBL folklore,
Didn't he?
Angus Glover.
Yeah. Here's Air with a tough finish over Noy.
Classy lefty finish. Off the wrong foot there, Ben Air, off the glass.
They get back to 6, and this young group's doing a good job. There's Foxwell again. Right into the face of Valentine Glover, wide open. He's got 5 quick points.
Great extra pass. McQuatch Malawatch. Kick to the corner. 3-ball corner pocket.
They're into the final minute of this first quarter. And it's Air. Way off. And here go the Kings. Looking to play with some speed. Malawatch gets his first bucket.
You better get back. You better get back in defensive transition against this King squad. Abdel Fattah has them putting all kinds of heat on the rim.
Foxwell got Bolden. Blow by him. Did a nice job. Good finish. And again, Kings looking to be ultra aggressive. Now they'll settle it, or they Statman almost steal. Here's Valentine just with the 2 points in the opening quarter. Good defense from Rosetto. Bolden was looking for Glover. Now he finds Noy. Another wild shot from the Kings as the clock will get down and Brown will let it fly. And that'll finish the first quarter. Good quarter by the Sydney Kings. They put up 28 points off the back of Jalen Galloway's 11. And the Phoenix missing a few of their stars. Just hanging in there. They trail by 9 points. Liam Santa Maria. Jalen Galloway was a star early.
He was big time. No, very exciting. And, you know, as we say all the way through the Blitz, it really is not so much about the wins and the losses. You know, time again we see that a team who wins the Blitz probably doesn't come out and necessarily burn it up in the regular season. So teams are just getting themselves warmed up. And what you can see and get a sense of is how teams are going to go about it. And the Kings, they want to play up-tempo. You know, when they went to market for their head coach, Paul Smith, Andrew Bogut, Luke Longley, Chris Pongrass, they knew what style of play they wanted, and that gave them a sense for what type of coach they wanted. They said, we want to push the ball. We want to play an NBA style. And when you look back at Coach Abdel Fattah, his time in the G League in that Houston Rockets RGV Vipers system, heavily driven by analytics. We want layups, free throws, and threes. And you look at the stats right here, they're 7 of 7 in that opening quarter from 2-point territory. They've got up a bunch of threes, and they've got to the free throw line a lot. Now, if they had knocked down some more free throws, this would be a 15, 20-point margin here at quarter time. So, really starting to get a good sense of what this Kings team is going to be like and how they're going to go about their business.
A reminder for those tuning in, DJ Hogue, the Sydney Kings, not playing tonight, out with a shoulder injury. Sam Timmins, the Kiwi, out with a calf injury. And Jalen Adams was laid out with, we believe, to be illness from tonight's game. And South East Phoenix have some injury concerns of their own. We've spoken about Alan Williams going to miss the first part of the season. Mitch Creek's looking after a calf injury. Matt Kenyon, who's had injury troubles, just with a bit of a back issue at the moment. Craig Moller not suited up. Jack Gack also out with an ankle. So plenty of youth getting some minutes tonight for the Phoenix.
Big shout out to Harry Froling. There he is on your screen. He's had a tough time, Big Harry. He's been, obviously, you know, dealt with a cowardly act last season that put him out of action, had to have serious surgery, and it's been a long road for recovery, but great to see him up and about. Saw him at the hotel earlier today, had a chat. He said the recovery's going pretty well, and cool to see him here in the building today. He and his brother Sam having a chat in that first quarter in the corner there. And it's really cool to see all the NBL community kind of get around Harry today at the hotel and here at the gym. Cool to see him back up on his feet.
Hopefully we see him in the NBL system again soon. We'll get over to Kelsey Brown, who listened into the Sydney Kings huddle at quarter time. Kelsey?
Coach Abdul Fattah was actually quite cruisy heading into that timeout. He let the boys sit and breathe for about a minute before drawing up a set play, but I think he'd be pretty happy with 28 points on the board for the first quarter. They've got to continue that form in the second.
Gary Brown still struggling to find his range, hasn't scored yet in this contest. There is Abdul Fattah, barking instructions at Zach Katorna. Switch sides, and there's the active hands again from Foxwell. So good. And then Cook's almost impossible to stop when he gets some momentum.
Man.
And again, he draws the foul and throws it down.
Oh, what a freight train coming down in transition. They sought the switch and the mismatch, the Kings, but the quick hands from Foxwell, and then look at this. Too big, too strong, all over the rim.
Just drop that shoulder a little bit. Got the separation. You're right, he's going to be a handful.
It's the strength and the athleticism, Joey, but also the handle.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen it a variety of times now. In transition, he can push it and make plays. He's not relying on other guys to set him up.
I know it's not the right comparison. There's a bit of Zion Williamson about the way that he goes about it. No, not to that level. You know, the way that he's built and the way that he's moving. He has 12 points. Tyler Cook coming off the 18 and 11 boards on Saturday night.
What we haven't seen yet is Cook and Creek combined in the front court. It's the other thing to keep in mind here with the Phoenix. You know, Creek's MVP level guy. And he hasn't been out there for him these first couple of games, and he's trying to get himself right. Oh my goodness!
They go back to Cook again, who just bullies Glover out the way. Couldn't get that to finish, but he'll go to the stripe.
They're switching a lot, the Kings, and they're getting caught with some mismatches that Cook is eating for dinner. Sean Bruce a couple of times in that first quarter. Angus Glover right there. Just going to work and overpowering guys around the bucket.
2 from 5 so far from the stripe. Well, it's all comers on the floor with the 12 points. Just the 1 rebound. He's now got his eye in. Knocks down another.
Sometimes when imports go down, Joey, it takes clubs a little while to bring in a replacement if they even manage to get that done. So I mentioned it off the top. It's big time. Really maybe save this Phoenix and their season. You mentioned how crucial it is to get off to a good start. Being able to bring him in so quickly, high-level guy like that, it's massive.
Valentine just still hasn't found his range. How does it work, the injury replacement player? As soon as Alan Williams is fit and available, do they have to release him, or can they keep him if someone else gets injured?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, you can do that, but I mean, this guy's at a level where he's not going to hang around for that type of situation. Yeah. We have seen that previously. We saw that with the Kings, right? Deshaun Taylor was like an injury replacement all year long for him as an import, but I don't think that, Tyler Cook's going to get big money anywhere he goes around the globe, and so enjoy it while it lasts.
Enjoying it tonight. Phoenix have had a little fight back here, back within 4 points. Tui will bring it in. Galloway, Valentine, Hunter on the floor. Some nice athleticism for the Kings. And here is Hunter trying to go at Cook. There's Katorna. Galloway again attacking the offensive glass. And a nice feed. The Katorna getting some nice minutes. Zach Katorna's second season with the Kings, played the 12 games last year. And here he is trying to stop the freight train that's cooking. He does a good job. And now Galloway. Hunter ran into Tarangi and got the bucket and the foul.
Coach Abdel Fattah enjoyed that. Strong play from Hunter. Cleared out the space with the shoulder and the contact, and then finished it with the foul. So that's now 9 from 9 for the Kings from 2-point territory. Haven't taken a 2-point shot outside of that restricted area. Everything right at the cup, or from the 3-point line, or from the free throw line.
As you said, that's what we're seeing a lot of in the NBA, aren't we? That's part of the strategy?
100%. No doubt about it. And, you know, NBL teams watching, coaches here in the gym, those watching on the broadcast will be taking note, because it's your first chance to get a look at what these Kings are going to be like, and it's pretty clear how they want to go about it.
That's fun to watch. They're playing well, back out to 9. Here's Brown, little hezzy and then step back. That's a tough bucket from Gary Brown. He's going to be a crucial player this season for the for the Phoenix again, as Galloway just goes straight at Cummings. And once again, they get to the stripe.
Cummings can't work it out. He's having some trouble here. Will Cummings saying, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? Guy's coming straight at me. Meanwhile, Gary Brown, they're having that same conversation. How do we avoid these fouls that they just keep racking up on us?
Looking live, it does seem just a bit of the size difference. The Cummings and Brown aren't the biggest, are they? The length of the Sydney Kings lineup troubling them. Just checking the previous shot from Gary Brown, whether it was a 3 or a 2. They're saying it was a 2-pointer. Galloway. Both teams from the free throw line. What are they going at? They're both struggling.
Big time.
You got the numbers there?
Yeah, the Kings are now 6 from 15 from the stripe, so sub 40%.
Phoenix have missed a few as well.
Yeah, they're 6 of 12, so they're on 50% themselves. So a bunch of points have been left at the stripe, and you look at the Kings, man, they've got that 7-point lead. If they knock down a few more of those free throws, it would be starting to look a little ugly for the Phoenix.
Let's see if Ruben Tarangi can knock a couple down. As we said, over 300 games, NBL experience, already 11 seasons in the league, and he also misses, so it's becoming a bit contagious now. Of course, a former NBL champion, he's former best 6 man of the year, former most improved. Still only 28 years of age, and
oh my. It's an epidemic.
It is now.
Of free throw bricks.
Cummings had a foot on the line, trying to save that ball, so it'll be a Kings ball as Statman checks in for Rapp. There's Malawatch. Valentine tried to get it to Hunter. Kept the handle. Shot clock down to 5. Kicks it out. Here's Tui, showing his range. That's what the big man can do.
Oh, he can shoot
Stretch
it.
the floor, yeah.
Yeah, no, he can shoot it. Green light from long range, for sure. And that's the versatility that we've spoken about. We've seen the offensive rebounding, the three-point shooting. Haven't seen the playmaking just yet, but it's there.
Here's Cook going to work again, and then Statman Good effort on the offensive glass, just couldn't get it to finish. Valentine comes and has a spell on the bench. Sean Bruce checks back in. Here's Cummings. He goes for the mid-range and off the mark. Now again, they'll look to push the ball. Bruce, Tui again. Draws the foul. This was doing Derek Rucker's head in last night, Liam. Fouling three-point shooters.
Yeah, a little overzealous.
The analytics, he didn't like it.
No, just don't do it.
Just don't do it. They did it to Bryce Cotton about 3 times.
It was interesting chatting with Cairns coach Adam Ford that last evening. After that game, I asked, how was it watching from the sidelines as Tajir McCall was coaching the game? He said it was great. He said, we fouled Bryce Cotton 3 times from long range. I said, well, what's great about that? He said, I told him pre-game and that's what he does. He draws fouls from 3-point territory. Don't do it. And now we've got the vision to work with. So we can take those learnings. And now, we wouldn't want to be in that video
next
review
time
if you were the guy fouling Bryce Cotton. But that's what these coaches are after. Some data, some vision to work with to help their teams grow.
That's right. Get it out of the way now. Don't do it in the season, which is easier said than done.
They're still going to foul Bryce Cotton.
Kings just with a handy 12-point lead now, midway through the second quarter. Again, Cook barking the instructions. They do go and double him this time. Bruce just lurking, and Cook has missed his last couple. Here's Galloway again. Cook from the weak side got the block in, but the foul was called first. Now Galloway will get to the stripe.
Well, Jalen Galloway is really enjoying playing in this system. Now, it's very, as we've said, it's very similar to what he played under with Chase Buford, but the green light to put the Jets on, put their head down, and put relentless heat on the rim. And as he kind of grows and matures and get more confidence physically with what he can do out there on the floor, it's just a style that really suits his skill set.
Finally makes a free throw. Both teams continuing to struggle from the line. A 13-point lead to the Kings. All the Phoenix players standing on the sidelines, they're all involved. And another whistle. Against Alex Tui.
Well, again, it was the impact of Tyler Cook, the switching defense from the Kings, and when they do that, it's an instant mismatch for Cook. Because if it's not Jordan Hunter, then he's too big and strong for everyone else out there on the floor. That's why Quatnoy's coming back into the game, just to try to bit more size and strength to be able to handle those moments. But Cook headed back to the free throw line yet again. 14 first half points, looking to add to it.
4 of 7 from the stripe. Missed his first couple, but has found his range. $116 kilograms they have him listed as, Tyler Cook.
Those unders.
That's big. I was going to say that's big. That's, man.
Yeah,
Bruce, good find for Noy. They'll get it back. Couldn't finish the second time. Good look though. Good find from Bruce. This Cummings, a nice little floater. Gets it back to single digits. And then an offensive foul called on Sean Bruce.
Good job. Luke Rosendale in the backcourt. The DP getting up, putting some pressure on, winning a possession for his team as Coach Abdel Fattah calls for time.
earlier tonight. It was the Melbourne United defeating Illawarra Hawks by 14 points, 85-71. The back of 17 first quarter points from Matthew Dellavedova, who backed up his 28 points in the first game with 20 tonight. Chris Golding found a bit of range. Mason Peatling was the best for the Hawks. Of course, action will continue tomorrow night here at the Gold Coast Convention Centre. The New Zealand Breakers will take on the Jack Jumpers, and then the Perth Wildcats will play the 36ers. Get to see Bryce Cotton in action again, and Alex Saar. What did you make of Alex Saar first up?
Looks good, Joey.
He does, doesn't he? Yep.
No, he looks good. He's been the NBA front office executives and scouts are very excited about what kind of prospect he is. You know, and we're gonna have him here for one season in the NBL, and we've got to enjoy it. And then we get to enjoy
follow his career in the NBA.
Absolutely, and it's going to be fun to watch. He's must-watch TV because he can do everything. He can shoot it. He can protect the rim. He can finish above the cup. He's unselfish.
That's the one that stood out to me. He was making the right plays, wasn't he, last night? He was giving it off when the better option was on. He wasn't trying to force anything.
And one of the things that helps that is that he's got off to a really good start. So he knows, hey, you know what? I've showcased what I can do already in this campaign. Yeah. So I don't need to press. It's just about making the right play at all times, immersing myself into this team. He's doing a fabulous job.
Let's get back to Kelsey Brown, who was in the huddle with Mike Kelly as Cummings knocks down the three. Kel?
Yeah, Mike Kelly had a big smile on his face. He said our offense will catch up if our defense is good, and that was his main talking point. I think he's happy that they've closed out this deficit.
They've certainly played a bit better defense. They keep committing fouls, and this time be quite annoying. We'll go to the stripe.
I mean, it's a good point from Mike Kelly. We talked about the defense, right, for the Phoenix this season. Coming in prior to tip-off, and this is giving it a really good test because this is a shell drill, really, trying to defend this Kings group. Can you sit down, slide your feet, and stay in front of the ball? And this is free throw number 21 and 22 for the Kings, and we're halfway through the second quarter. So they've been having trouble getting that done, the Phoenix, to this point.
Free throw shooting was an issue for the Kings last year as well, wasn't it? It was about the only thing they couldn't do well, the Sydney Kings, was make free throws.
And if you're going to play this style, then you can't afford to be missing free throws.
It was Ben Air.
You're going to be shooting a lot of them.
Fall. Yeah. And now here they go again. Bruce Denoy. A bit too strong off the backboard and the turnover. Air looking to be aggressive the other way. Nice finish for Ben Air. Here's Galloway. Wasn't able to get past Statman, so settled for the jump shot. Good defense. Cody Statman, now Cummins. Missed that one, and again they're off. And again it's Noy who finishes this time. They are so quick in transition, the Kings.
Really quick. Whoever rips it off the defensive glass has the license to push. Everybody runs with them and put a lot of pressure on your defensive transition.
7-point margin as we tick down towards halftime. Air's been looking to attack. This time finds Cummings. It's a good feed, but poor finish. And he'll come and sit out. Tyler Cook will check back into the game. Big Anzac Rossetto will also have a spell. And Jonah Bolden will check back in for the Sydney Kings. There's Hunter, hands off to Valentine. That's a good find for Bolden. Can he get his first points? He can. And he gets off the mark with a triple. Big Jonah.
That's fun to see. That's what has made him a special talent over the journey, Jonah Bolden. At that size, to be able to step out and shoot from long range like he can. Cool to see him knock one down.
This time it's Valentine who finds Noy, and then a bit overzealous was Tyler Cook. Called for the foul. Valentine gets up with a smile. Spoke about Denzel Valentine. Not too often you get a bloke that's played 250 odd NBA games. Former pick 14 in the 2016 draft. Still only 28 years of age, so got some good basketball in him.
No, that's right. I mean, he's in the prime of his career. A lottery pick.
Yeah.
And those who watched him at the college level saw how high a performer he was at that point as well. So, yeah, this is a guy, he's had some injuries that have kind of derailed things over the last few years, and he's looking to come into the NBL, get some things done, and bounce back to the association.
He spent 5 years at the Chicago Bulls and then stints at the Cavs and the Utah Jazz. Want to make an impression in his time in the NBL. Lucky to have such talent here as Air. Lets that one fly, knocks it down. He's playing with some energy on the offensive end this quarter.
He's been good, Ben Air. They've been searching for a bit of a spark plug, the Phoenix, and he's provided it here in this second quarter.
Gary Brown checks back in.
The 3-guard lineup here with Ed.
Bruce, that's a better way to get some points, get to the hole. Back out to 11. Here's Brown. Again, something for that mid-range. That's a good finish over the top of Bolden. Abdel Fattah calls a timeout. 43 seconds left in this opening half.
Well, he's got the timeout, and he might as well use it. Late in the half, he wants to take the opportunity to get organised, call a play, see if they can execute something that they've been working on at practice. We talk about Denzel Valentine, Joey, and his NBA experience. Shout out Julian O'Brien, former media man for the Sydney Kings. Good reminder. Have you heard any of Denzel Valentine's music?
No.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Actually, really, really good.
Yeah.
R&B sort of smooth style.
Nice.
You can track it down on YouTube. Dropped a new number a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Man of many talents. He's going to be fun to chat to throughout the year then.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the NBL. Denzel Valentine.
Yeah. Search him up on YouTube. New track called Ocean. So we've got Isaac Humphries in the league, of course.
Yeah, he can play.
Very good voice.
Yep. And
very good player. Well, Denzel Valentine, not too dissimilar.
Isaac Humphries play the guitar as well? Did I see he play
Piano.
The guitar? The piano. That's it. Good crowd in the house again, all coming out and enjoying their basketball. Well, school holidays, so plenty of families up on the Gold Coast coming and spend a night out.
A lot of families.
Yeah. So if you're on the Gold Coast for a holiday, why not come down and check it out and have a look?
Makes a lot of sense.
Get up close and personal with some of these wonderful basketballers. Let's see what they drew up at the timeout. Noi, again, looking to be ultra aggressive. And they are so hard to stop, the Kings. They get to the basket. 51 points they've put up. And they'll get one more possession. Brown thought about it, then went to Foxwell. Finds young Rapp, who's going to get called for the travel.
Oh my, I've robbed Isaac Humphries of 6 instruments just quietly.
Can he play everything?
Apparently he can play everything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting told.
Right.
7 instruments.
Whoa. How do you have time to learn 7 instruments?
He's found a way.
Clock ticking down, 3 to go. Valentine wants the possession. And that'll see us out at half-time. Impressive half from the Sydney Kings. And the new coach, Mahmoud Abdel Fattah. We're getting a taste of what we're going to see from Sydney in NBL 24. And it's going to be fun to watch.
Very fun. Very impressive, high-scoring first half from the Kings. As you said, 51 points. They've left 12 points at the free throw line. So very easily could have been a 60-plus point first half from the Kings. And for our first chance to get a good look at it in the preseason, very fun to watch.
Tyler Cook leading the way for the Southeast Phoenix. He has the 16 points. Ben Eyre was productive in that second quarter. He has 9. And Cummings was able to get the 7 points. But for the Sydney Kings, they were to spread the load. Noi, that's a nice moment. So he had the 8 points. Alex Tui with 9. And Jalen Galloway got off to a red-hot start with 12. We'll take a break and we'll take a look at the second half, not far away.
Our game is made for moments. We stop at nothing, on or off the court, here and abroad. Every fan, every game, every experience. From game-winning buzzer beaters to posterizing dunks. The immeasurable passion and fierce rivalries. Every legacy, every team, and the strive for greatness. No matter the moment, it all matters to us. Hungry Jacks NBL. Every moment matters.
Don't miss a moment of NBL action. On the court, away from the court, exclusive access, player interviews, free agency moves, next stars, and much more. The NBL's YouTube channel is your one-stop shop for all things NBL 24. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to find out all the latest news as it happens. Search NBL on YouTube to get watching.
Both teams back on the floor, getting ready for the second half here at the Gold Coast Convention Centre, night 3 of the Blitz, in Australia's favourite playground, the Gold Coast. And it's the Sydney Kings leading by 11 points. It's been a pretty impressive first half, and already Liam Santamaria, coach Mahmoud Abdel Fattah's put an imprint on his style and the system that I think we're going to see from the Kings this year.
Yeah, for sure. Well and truly on display. Very fun to watch. High tempo, and they really made life difficult for the Phoenix.
We'll take a look at some of the numbers. What caught your eye in the first half from the numbers?
Well, it was a lot of fouls for one. Both teams put a lot of heat on the other team's defense. So over 30 fouls called in that first half collectively. Over 40 free throws shot. Both teams leaving a bunch of points on the free throw line. So that was interesting. Tyler Cook, of course, was the man for the Phoenix. They found him in a couple of situations in the half court. He took advantage. He took advantage in transition. So he's got the 16 points leading the way for the Phoenix. But he's also got the 3 fouls, which made things difficult. So does Will Cummings and Reece Vague, a bunch of guys picking up a bunch of fouls. And for the Kings, well, they shot it poorly from 3, 5 from 20. They shot it poorly from the stripe, 12 for 24. But they were 80% from two-point territory, just getting to the rim, finishing around the cup. And as a result, they put on over half a century in that first half. So Jalen Galloway was the guy leading the way. He was really impressive. 12 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. Really like that first half from Alex Tui as well, 9 points. We started to see a little bit of all the different types of things that he can do. So fun first half. And we'll see, well, what kind of response can the Phoenix deliver at the defensive end as they try to stay in front of the ball?
Of course, the Sydney Kings have done all of this without their 2 biggest names, DJ Hogue and Jalen Adams, who are both out, not playing in this game. And of course, talk about Tyler Cook. Well, won't the Southeast Phoenix be a headache when Mitch Creek comes back in and you've got Creek and Cook going at you? That's going to be hard to stop for some teams early in the season. Of course, Alan Williams, we know, is going to be missing, and Gat Kenyon and Moller all not suiting up tonight. So pretty youthful side that Mike Kelly is playing with tonight, but some good opportunity. Owen Foxwell and Ben Eyre have had some nice minutes. Young Rapp has played as well. As we get ready for this third quarter, we'll go to Kelsey Brown, who's listening into the Sydney Kings huddle.
I actually want to talk about the NBA royalty in the crowd signing autographs. We've got Luke Longley over there. We've got Andrew Bogut. We had the Brisbane Bullets in the crowd watching their next opponents, Illawarra Hawks. So yeah, it's a great crowd. I've been really impressed with the turnout over the last 3 days.
Yeah, great point, Kels. It's part of what's happening with the Blitz these days. We talk about how similar it is to the NBA Summer League more and more. The idea is let's try to turn it into a bit more of an industry event. You know, it's great basketball on the floor, lots of young talent to scout. So you got the scouts, the NBA GMs and executives, all the front office personnel from the NBA teams, but also the player agents are in the house.
The big guns.
We're joined by one to begin this third quarter. Solomon Deck from Promondo Sports. Solomon, welcome, my man.
I feel privileged and honored to be out here. You know, finally get to be on, on TV. It's a special moment. Mama made it.
Well, we'll wait for a dead ball, man. We'll get a little shot of you on camera, and you can give Mama a shout. Jalen Galloway to the cup.
It's tough.
Continuing on his form, how he started, particularly in that first quarter. What have you made of the first half so far in this one?
It's good, man. It's an exciting game. Both sides playing competitive. I mean, obviously, both teams have a few injuries out, but nevertheless, guys are stepping up. Opportunity for DPs to showcase what they could do preseason. So it's good.
We'll talk about the young talent on display here, Solomon. A couple of your guys, clients of yourself, Promondo, Ben Eyre, and Owen Foxwell out there on the floor.
Yep.
A couple of guys, new contracts this year. Foxwell up into a full roster spot, and Ben Eyre, a change of scenery.
Yeah, excited obviously for Foxwell to finally be a full roster guy and have some continuous minutes, and showcase what he could really do. And Ben Eyre, being back home around family, that's always a big thing, and gives you a little bit extra boost in your game. Good shot there.
So Ben Eyre, a Melbourne boy, set grow up in the southeast of Melbourne. Didn't he play at Nunawading, I think, early days?
Nunawading, Sandy.
Yep.
I actually played up against Ben Eyre back in my days.
Oh,
when I could move.
Did you give him some business? Or?
Yeah, we beat him. You beat him. Gazy was my coach back in the day.
Okay.
Go.
Here's Valentine. He's yet to get his stroke going. Maybe he's going to warm up. That'll be scary if he gets going.
Fast
Denzel
start.
Valentine.
Fast start for the Kings, Joey.
8 points already.
Galloway at the cup, and then Bruce and Valentine back-to-back triples. And it's almost a 20-point lead all of a sudden. Solomon, what about around the rest of the league? Who else are some of your clients that you represent across the NBL right now?
Who else do we need to say positive things about in the telecast?
I've got a guy named called Sunday Detch. You know, I think he's related to me. I've got young David Okwera. Shout out to him. Manga Matiang, Hiram Harris. Shout out to those guys. Yeah.
Tell us about David Aquera. Didn't many minutes last night. Was there anything behind that? What's the?
Nah, nothing too serious. I mean, I think it's just coach, you know, switching up rotation. There's going to be some guys in preseason that's not going to play a lot, and just to get a feel which lineup works out well and whatnot. So, I mean, they know what he could do.
Solomon, the agency Pro Mondo Sports. You've got Damian Martin as a part of the mix, as a part of the group.
Yes.
Helping out within the group. You obviously aligned with Matt Bolero, Jordan Hunter in transition, throwing it down. Timeout, Southeast Melbourne. Mike Kelly's seen enough.
Slow it down.
Woo. Massive first couple of minutes of the second half here for the Kings. It's a 21-point margin, but Matt Bolero, American agent, part of the group as well. And
yes, sir.
You signed a big blue chip prospect over the course of the offseason.
Yep. Mr. Zakowski.
Wow.
Mr. Zakowski.
Tell us about what kind of impressions you've had getting to know Rocco over the last couple of months or so.
I mean, you know, obviously he stands out being 7'3", but it's more about his mentality, how he approaches the game. He's not a typical 17-year-old. You know, he's a lot more mature. He's well beyond his age, and I think that's the most impressive thing. And just how he carries himself, and like just learning to deal with the stardom. You know, being 7'3" already, he stands out, and now fans and whatnot, you know, he's handling it very, very well. And that surprised me, because beforehand he was at the academy. You don't really get to see much of these guys, so quite impressed of how he's carrying himself.
What about from a bigger picture, the South Sudanese talent that's coming through? Just basketball. I mean, the NBL, we're blessed with a number. We've just seen the World Cup, the South Sudanese boys. It must be exciting.
It is, man. It is. It's very exciting for us here in Australia, and obviously even more exciting for us back home, like parents and uncles and things like that, because we don't really have an international sporting team that ever compete at World Cup or Olympics and whatnot. So this really gives the country something to look forward to. Back then, even here, you know, to have a team and these kids could aspire to, you know, now guys have option. If they don't make the Australian team, you know, there is a shot, a genuine shot where you could be called up to play for South Sudan.
Cook still providing a headache.
Man, jeez.
He's tough.
For a righty, man, he's got a tough left-hand finish.
Up to 18 points for Tyler Cook, matching his performance Saturday night.
We've seen the touch with the left as Hunter goes right back at him. The big fellas going punch for punch at either end of the floor. Tyler Cook, we've seen the touch with the lefty hook, but the lefty finishes at the rim as well. As get another look at Hunter, putting it on the deck. Fake the handoff. Keeps it to the rim, and that's 4 personals now on Tyler Cook.
Let's see if the Kings can start making some free throws. And they continue to miss.
It's preseason. There's always a bit of rust, you know.
That's it. Get it out now. As Cook just goes straight back at Hunter. This is getting personal now.
I just hope he doesn't foul. I'm enjoying the show.
Yeah.
One more foul and he's out the rest of the way.
Valentine got the handoff to Hunter, and they're trading buckets. Let's see if the Phoenix goes straight back to Cook. He gets the mismatch, and then a sloppy possession. That's disappointing from Cummings.
There you get a good look at the front row. The NBA scouts and exec, and Rocco, of course, scored a seat on the front row there as well. I'm getting looked after. He grabbed your seat, or what's happening?
Yeah, he took my seat.
He
took
did?
my seat. I had to invite the young fella with me. I'm an old head now, you know.
And no one can see behind him.
I feel sorry for the fans.
What are your early thoughts the team to beat coming into this NBL season? Who are you sort of looking at, thinking?
I can't say that.
You can't say? You can't pick a team?
I mean, it's tough, man. I think it's challenging. Each team, I think this is the most balanced most teams been in years.
Yep.
You know, that's a testament to the growth of NBL basketball in Australia in general. A lot of great local talent. Good shot there. A lot of great local talent that's available here, and you get, you know, you no longer just rely on imports. You have guys that are genuine, guys going to the NBA, guys that contribute at a high level here. So it's hard to predict which team will win, but you know, Sydney showcased what they could do so far.
Here's Valentine putting on some moves and then kicks it out. He wants it back, but Hunter wants to go back at Cook. He knows he's got 4 fouls. Did well not to give away the 5th. Phoenix need to get going here. Trail by 18. Tarangi. Oh, read by Galloway. Did it easy. So now Hunter wide open.
They would have enjoyed that, the Sydney bench. They were all up and about when Geordie Hunter pulled the trigger.
There's Vague on the floor, hands off to Brown. He's got that little hezzy move, gets a little bit of separation, knocks down another. Mid-range 2. Working himself in to the scoring table for 7 points and then a turnover from Galloway.
It's a little out of control there now. It's Denzel Valentine.
Valentine, sorry, yeah.
Trying to make it happen there. Solomon, we talk about all the off-court action here at the event, the player agents, yourself. We've got Aaron Moldovan here from Octagon, Marquise Taylor and Joe Watson from Mogul Sports.
Everyone's out here.
What's the, he's like, you don't need to drop there. What's the vibe? I mean, this is a part of the basketball world and industry that maybe is a little under the radar, and everyone sees what takes place out there on the floor, but it's a business.
Yeah.
It's a pro league. What's the vibe and amongst all the player agents across the NBL industry?
I mean, you know, it's a small league, so there's a little bit of tension about, you know, who you get and whatnot. But overall, it's all love, man. It's business at the end of the day, and this is relationship based. So when you get a guy that genuinely trusts you, so there's no issue there, and I think it's good. It's good competitive edge. I mean, good competition in general, healthy competition. Sorry, that's what I was meant to say. Between all of us, so I think it's when we see each other, we dap each other up, say what's up. We say congrats when somebody sign a big, you know, get a big signing. But yeah, other than that, you know, it's all love. It's all love out here. There's no animosity.
Love that. Tyler Cook out here having a big impact. He's got 4 fouls. Dicey, look at him slide over to the left there. Took the contact down the chest. Offensive foul. And he stays out there.
Cummings will bring the ball up the floor. Gary Brown just starting to get hot now with up to 12 points. As Cummings able to get by Galloway. There's a goaltend if it didn't go in anyway.
Solomon, we spoke about the South Sudanese national team, what they were able to do at the World Cup, how cool that was. It's been such a big 12, 18 months, 24 months, hasn't it,
it has been, man.
For the national team.
Yeah, and it's just amazing that obviously the team get rewarded. I mean, not rewarded, earn a spot to get to the Olympics, you know. And what Luau Deng's been doing is amazing. And I guess NBL and Basketball Australia obviously has a huge impact, and guys that develop here, and guys obviously don't get an opportunity to play for Australia, but have the opportunity to play for South Sudan. And you know, I think kudos to Basketball Australia and NBL.
Just saw Jonah Bolden knock down another 2. It's Cummings and Cook still working hard. And here go the Kings again, up tempo. This is when they're at their best. Bolden just short on that one. See if the Phoenix go straight back at them, push the ball at the floor. Tarangi from the corner. They're just hanging around.
Well, having a good little run here. It's back to a
They
12-point
need to give the
game.
fan what they came to see.
Of course, it's all teetering on the brink here with Cook on 4 fouls, just quietly. If he fouls out, everything is going to start tilting back in the other direction because he's such a big presence.
Here
Right
he is
now,
again.
Mike Kelly letting him play through it.
And he's going to go right at Noy. Couldn't finish with the right hand that time. That was one of his easier looks. Now Bolden runs the floor. Malawatch had the ball stripped.
Great hands, Will Cummings. And McWatch Malawatch on the screen there. Solomon, his cousin, Carmen Malawatch,
Yes.
took the FIBA World Cup by storm.
He did, man.
And the warm-up games in Australia, exciting young prospect coming out of South Sudan.
He is, he's a glimpse of what's going to come out in the future. He's an exciting prospect, and similar to Rocco, these guys are just different. They're built different mentally. Obviously, they have the physical tools that stand out, but mentality-wise, they're well above their years.
And you talk about qualifying for the Olympics. Solomon, only 12 countries play at the Olympics, and South Sudanese team's going to be there.
South Sudan's 12 years old.
It's incredible.
It's crazy, right?
What's the vibe going to be like in South Sudan when they're playing those games?
We're having a public holiday. Whether it's a week or two, we're having a public holiday. It has to. No, it's just like I said earlier. Gives the country something to look forward to. When they say it stops everything, it literally does, because people outside of the stadiums, and not inside like stadium like this, but outdoor arenas, watching the game and whatnot, and everything else stops. Business stops, because in a way is our national treasure.
Yeah.
Per se.
And it was interesting talking to Bull Qual. It was a shame he wasn't able to play at the FIBA World Cup as he got injured, but he was talking in advance about, it's a country that has, dealt with a lot of violence, a lot of conflict, and he said one of the great things about this team and the success that it's been having, as Gary Brown has
getting hot.
success of his own from long range, is the way it's brought everybody together.
100%.
He said it's been just a terrific kind of binding force within the population.
Yeah, man. A little history. South Sudan has 64 different tribes.
Right.
And, the national team is able to sort of bring everybody together collectively, watch a game, enjoy a moment, and, a pride moment, just these guys representing our country. And there's no tribalism, there's nothing else, nothing about politics involved. And that's a real winner right there. And even like when those warm-up games, Boomers versus the World, people flew from different states to come and watch these guys. These guys are like rock stars back home, even within the community here. And now these kids are buying these guys jerseys, like the NBL jerseys in Australia. It's cool to see.
Very cool.
Valentine making back-to-back buckets, and that's the beauty of sport, isn't it? It
Yeah.
unites everyone. Doesn't matter what sport it is. But
When it's on, you forget about everything else that divides people.
yeah. As Tarangi makes a tough move and got fouled from Bolden. He'll go to the free throw line. They try and get it back to a manageable 11 points inside the final minute of this third quarter. Been able to get out and about on the Gold Coast. There's plenty happening. Australia's favourite playground. You've been able to do much, nothing social?
No, I'm just here strictly business.
Business.
Yeah, here to see the guys.
Pro.
I don't usually get a chance to see, so yeah.
All the players are loving it here. They're all enjoying it.
Yeah, man, it's the weather's beautiful, nice place, quiet during the day anyways. But the launch was great last night.
Oh, he's had a big turn, Gary Brown.
He's hitting up.
Lighting it up to 18 points after a really quiet first half. And gets it back to 8 points and causes the turnover. So their leader stepping up. He's feeling it. He's feeling it, Gary Brown.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, what a feeling.
Indeed. Reminded me when I used to play back in the day. I the Rec Setters.
And they are right back in this thing. Gary Brown explosion. And as we wind down to the end of the third quarter, it's a 5-point game.
Clock down to 4. Valentine wants the final shot. And a terrific turn for the Southeast Phoenix, led by Gary Brown. And they are well and truly in this ball game. They're within 5 points.
They're back in action.
Well, Solomon Detch, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck with the boys.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well done.
This is a special moment in my resume, you know. Mama made it, you know. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Solomon.
Big turn. 21 points now for Gary Brown. He's gone past Tyler Cook, who still has the 20, and they have 41 of their 68. Well, the Sydney Kings been a much more even spread. Jalen Galloway with the 14, Alex Tui, a couple of nice moves. Valentine got a little bit going in that quarter. He has 11 as well, and Quatnoy and Geordie Hunter.
Well, we heard the report from Kelsey out of the Phoenix huddle earlier in the game when they were down big, saying Mike Kelly's actually pretty cool, calm and collected, and he said, hey, listen, when our defense starts to catch up, our offense will be fine. So they churned it up a little bit defensively there, and then they got hot. 28-point quarter for the Phoenix there. 40 at the half, 68 now all of a sudden, and we've got ourselves a ball game. Gary Brown caught fire. He's got 21 now, as you say. He's the game-leading scorer, and that's what the Phoenix are looking forward to with Gary Brown this year. Simon Mitchell, the former head coach, spoke about it earlier in the preseason, saying, he's a much better three-point shooter than what he displayed last season. And he's come out in the third quarter and put that on display.
And they kept the Kings to a pretty decent score in that quarter, to 22 points. And all of a sudden it's game on, as we've got a bloke out here doing some dance moves that I think he thinks are a lot better than everyone else does, but he's having some fun. He's taking the shirt off. Yeah, he's pretty happy with his work. But the fans are enjoying it. They're enjoying the basketball. And it was a big quarter. Some good fun. Jonah Bolden getting his first minutes. One we're going to enjoy watching. Of course, his dad, NBL legend Bruce Bolden, who's in the house. We're going to get back over to Kelsey Brown, who was in that Southeast Phoenix huddle with Mike Kelly. And Mike Kelly must be pleased, Kels.
Yeah, well, Mike Kelly has stuck true to what he said earlier in the game. He said Gary Brown is hot, but that's because of the defensive pressure that they're putting on. This play that they drew up, they've actually executed perfectly, but he's a very happy coach at the moment.
Good play out of the huddle. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thanks, Kels. That's what you want out of the huddle. Perfect execution, quick, easy bucket. That's a one-possession game all of a sudden.
They've cranked up the defense again here. The Phoenix. Glover looking to get towards the rim. Statman got the hand in. Good block.
Great defensive possession. Sliding their feet, finding over picks. An attempt from Glover late in the shot clock, and Statman sends it away.
First little test for the Sydney Kings early in their campaign. Looking to make it a three-peat this season. There's a little bit of push and shove. Ben Air not backing down from Denzel Valentine. Exchanging a few words. He doesn't mind getting in the face, Ben Air. Doesn't matter who it is.
No, never backs down. Laid the body check on Trenton Flowers, preseason game a couple of weeks ago, and a little George Akin here with Denzel Valentine.
And a collision from Jordan Hunter and young Rapp. Austin Rapp, just a 17-year-old, another big unit.
Yeah,
some of these kids at this age, there he is, number 22 on screen, 17 years of age.
No, he's another kid with
been around for a couple of seasons.
Really bright future.
Yeah.
Austin Rapp played obviously junior national team, and he played really well for the Knox Raiders in the NBL 1 South this year. The national champion Knox Raiders. He came up big in the national finals He's a big kid, can shoot it from long range. He's got a big future ahead.
Here's Galloway continuing on being aggressive. He's in for a big year. If what we've seen tonight is anything to go by, he just continues to develop the 20-year-old. There is Rapp, Statman, and Foxwell. So some youth on the floor, and Big Cook, who again is able to draw a foul. Again, a young lineup Mike Kelly's got out there. It's 5 points the margin. Cook kicks it back out to Air. He's got the matchup on Hunter, so he gets the step back and a good finish. Long range 2. And then he's called for a foul off the ball. He didn't think there was a lot in it, but Hunter, who's twice his size, has gone to the floor. Something must have happened.
Oh, he's given him a good offensive punch, Ben Air, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's double figures, 13 points. He's their third leading scorer behind the 2 imports. Here it is in transition. Not a whole heap of contact, but enough.
The Kings get points on offense. Galloway probably had the lane, gave it up to Glover. Couldn't score. Now Valentine over the head. That's a clever find for Hunter, who should knock that down from 3-point range. He was wide open, couldn't finish. And they can look to get to level pegging if this goes down. Oh, Statman! Would have been some sort of play for his first points.
He's had a couple of athletic plays, Cody Statman, in this little stretch of playing time. The block on Angus Glover. He attempted putback right there, and Mike Kelly says, good stuff, young man, come and have a seat.
Played some minutes at the Brisbane Bullets last season. Before that, had the 4 years at the University of Virginia. 23-year-old development player. As Gary Brown looks to go to work on Bolden. He's still feeling pretty good. Couldn't get that to finish. Cook can eventually. Up to 22 points, the big man. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-point game. Sydney respond. Valentine got Cook on him with the 4 fouls. Finds Glover. It's another one, haven't been able to get their 3-point. What's their 3-point shooting tonight, the Kings?
Oh, no, it's not pretty. It's on 23%, 7 from 30 from long range. So sub 30% from 3, sub 50% from the free throw line. And yet, they've still been managing to put points on the board through their relentless attack on the rim.
Hunter in the corner to Galloway. And Cook pulls down the board, and he'll bring it up the floor. And he'll look to attack. Takes Hunter into the post. Brown to Air. Too aggressive on that one. Better defense from the Kings. And Air didn't like the call, but another foul.
Well, he's trying to bring the defensive intensity, Ben Air, but just a little too physical. Just a little too physical in defensive transition. Picks up the foul on Geordie Hunter, and there is Angus Glover's trying to drive, and he's been racking up the fouls. He's 1 foul away now from fouling out of the game.
Let's get back to Kelsey Brown, who has an update for us. Kels?
I think it's just interesting to note the difference in the benches. Obviously, Phoenix very up and about because they're back in this contest. Sydney are a little bit flat. You can see it now. They're up and about. Phoenix, they want to get this win. You can feel it on this side of the court.
Yeah, we were chatting to Derek Rucker about it last night. Liam, you talk about not overly important the wins and losses, but just starting to build the winning culture, just getting used to winning. Maybe not as important for the Sydney Kings because they just know how to win, but for a team like the Phoenix that want to try and progress this season for Mike Kelly, pretty nice to just to get a W, won't it?
Absolutely, and it's all about establishing who you are and how you're going to go about things, and a lot of that for these teams right now. They're trying to work out who's going to do what offensively and what their focus is going to be, but primarily, well, what kind of defensive team are we going to be? Because we see time and time again, year after year, you need to be a high-level defensive unit if you're going to have success in the NBL. And the Phoenix, that's the big challenge for them this season. Get it done in the first half, a little bit better in the third quarter. Well, this fourth quarter, man, has been a great start. The Kings just 2 points in the first 3 minutes and change of this fourth term. Now with this Tyler Cook free throw, this Southeast Melbourne are in the lead and their bench is up and about.
It's been a good effort. Pretty young side they've had to play tonight. Of course, no Mitch Creek. No Alan Williams, Matt Kenyon, Craig Moller, who's joined the team. There's Galloway again. Gave it up this time. It was well read by Cook. So more good defence. They are up and about the Phoenix bench. Enjoying what they're seeing as Cummings checks back in. Craig turned down the three. Kicked it back out to Brown again for that mid-range two. He's had a big second half. And they now lead by 3.
Oh, beautiful pass. Yeah. Great cut. Jalen Galloway. And Geordie Hunter put it right on the spot.
18 points now, Jalen Galloway.
He's had a really good game. 5 boards, 4 assists. Work with the ball, knocking it down from long range, and then there showing what he can do as a cutter, as a slasher, moving off the ball.
Here's Vague. In trouble to scorers tonight. Reece Vague kicks it across to Cummings, who again sees the matchup on Hunter high off the backboard. Nice. Tui looking to be aggressive straight away, but Benair did just enough. They're full of confidence at the moment. The Phoenix, and this man has put on a show in the second half. Gary Brown up to 26 points.
Well, he is red hot, Gary Brown. Absolutely lighting it up in this second half. And they've made some really good adjustments at the offensive end, the Phoenix. The switching defense of the Kings caused them troubles in that opening half, but in the second half here, Gary Brown has started to figure it out. So you know what, let me find the big fella, Geordie Hunter, let me get him switched onto me, and I'll start to do my thing a little bit. Attack it off the bounce, get past him, finish at the cup, and put him on his heels. Rise up and knock down the 3 ball, and it's all starting to come together. Phoenix now up by 6.
5 minutes change left in this ball game. Sydney Kings will be back in action on Wednesday night. They'll take on Melbourne United, who've made it 2 from 2. Another win earlier this evening against the Illawarra Hawks. Matthew Dellavedova continuing his fine form. And then they'll play again on Friday against the Brisbane Bullets. And this is the Southeast Phoenix second game. After going down by 13 to Tassie on Saturday night, they'll play again on Thursday. In fact, they're Wednesday night as well, I should say. Sorry, Wednesday afternoon. They're playing the Cairns Taipans, so that'll be their third and final game in a couple of days' time. As we get back to Kelsey Brown, who was in that southeast huddle. Kelsey. We'll get back to Kelsey in a minute. There's Courtney. Good defence from Reece Vague. Here goes Gary Brown. He's got 4 Kings ahead of him. That's not going to stop him. That was a bit ambitious. And now quickly, the Kings will get into offensive mode. Glover. Tui kicks it to Bruce. And now they'll pull it out and set up. And it's going to be Hunter for 3. And Vague a bit too aggressive on that box out. Called for the foul on Alex Tui. We'll try again. Kels, you're in at that southeast huddle during the timeout.
Mike Kelly was really happy with the offense. He spoke about not seizing up, keep running what they've been running to give them this lead. It's now not time to go backwards, just keep moving forward with what they've been doing.
Well, a big part of that has been Gary Brown, hasn't it? Pouring on the points here in this second half. Game-leading scorer with 26. He's going to take a quick little rest. 4.5 minutes to play. He's been lighting it up, but he's breathing heavy as Tui steps to the stripe, knocks down 1 of 2, and makes it a 5-point ball game.
It's over to the Kings. Can they get a couple of stops? No Gary Brown on the floor. Who's it going to be? Probably this man, Tyler Cook. He's sizing up Bruce. Goes to his left and then draws the foul again.
He's heading back to the free throw line. Kings, both teams over the limit at this point. He's going to shoot free throw number 12 and 13. He's been a handful.
After missing his first couple of free throws, he's up to 8 of 11. He's found his range. Misses that one. That's 1 of 2. Back to 6-point lead. Here's Tui. Quick step to get past Cummings, but he had the quick hands. Got the strip, and then goes right at Hunter. Couldn't finish. Now Sydney in transition. 3v3. Noy. Good defense from Cook. Took it straight down the middle. He's slow to get to his feet, the big fella. He's been working hard. I'll wait for him to get down the floor. And he'll get straight back into the thick of it. Yeah, pulls up. Oh, good finish. He's going to provide that punch off the bench this season, Ben Eyre.
He's got no fear, does he, Joey?
16 points he's up to. And now they are full of running. Running all over the top of this Kings team. Again, kicks it out to Tarangi. Was able to get to the baseline. Good help defense from Valentine.
Great contest. Comes across from the weak side, walls up, gets a piece of the ball. 4 seconds on the shot clock here for the Phoenix to work with. They've gone little here, the Phoenix. The Kings. So Hunter checks out, but Bolden doesn't come in. So this is a smaller squad. Tui at the 5. He's got the job on Tyler Cook right now.
Shot clock's at 3. Cummings lost the handle. Now the Kings need to press. Time becoming an issue. Just over 2.5 minutes, and they trail by 9. They by as much as 15. Valentine from way downtown. Hasn't quite got the stroke going, but that's what he's capable of. And Mike Kelly calls a timeout.
Big hit. Cuts it back to 6, 2-possession game. 2.5 minutes to play. As we say, it's pre-season. It's not sheep stations, but a chance for these teams to get a sense of how they execute, how they get things done at both ends of the floor in crunch time, in big moments. And Abdel Fattah, that was fun. See him go to that smaller lineup. We spoke about the versatility of Alex Tui. Slide him to the 5 spot, the 19-year-old. Put him on Tyler Cook, who has been a handful with 25 points. And then at the other end, well, let's spread them out. Make it really tough to guard. Valentine hits the 3, and we're going right down the wire.
Of course, remember these teams doing it without their superstars. No DJ Hogue or Jalen Adams for the Kings, no Mitch Creek. So they'll look to turn to some others to finish. Of course, the season opener for the Southeast Phoenix, touched on off the top, Thursday, September 28. Against the crosstown rivals Melbourne United. That's going to be a sellout. And then the Sydney Kings, well, they play their crosstown rivals, the Illawarra Hawks. Just open their season September 30. Always big games, the Hawks and the Kings. Doesn't matter what the ladder positions are. They're always good battles.
100%. And if you think back to their opening game of last season, Joey, it was when things started to go right for the Hawks because they lost Justin Robinson.
That's right.
The meniscus tear in that opening game, the Freeway Series. So hopefully he can stay healthy this year. I tell you, it's been interesting here in this 4th quarter. Just 8 points for the Kings. The Phoenix have slowed them down in transition, kept them in the half court, and the offense has dried up a little.
There's Cook again. Gets the offensive board and put back. He's up to 27. Lead by 8. And then gets the steal. So they're getting it done at both ends of the floor now, the Phoenix. And now they don't need to do anything crazy. And get into their half-court set. Use some clock. And get it to the man with the hot hand. He couldn't finish that time, Gary Brown. The Kings will keep pushing it. Bruce to Valentine. Knocked one down from here a moment ago. That's 2 on the trot. He might be the closer. We're back within 5. Well, they lost contact with Brown. He's just missed 2 in a row now. He can't believe it. And just like that, Bruce gets the layup. Back to 3.
Now, if you're the Phoenix now, you got to go back to Tyler Cook. He's got the size and the strength advantage over anyone out there in a purple jersey, and they haven't found him these last couple of possessions.
Instead, Cummings settles for the 3. Not the right option. There's still plenty of time here for the Kings. Glover finds Tui. Left it short.
Would have tied it up there. That look from Tui. Big play right here. They've come up dry a few possessions in a row here, the Phoenix.
Did they go to Cook? Or is it going to be Gary Brown? Shot clock down to 9. Cook wants everyone to clear out. Wants to go at Noy. Goes with the right hand off the glass. Tough finish by the big man. He wanted the foul. And he gives them a 5-point buffer inside 30 seconds. He's been huge.
Wow, it's not rocket science. In the end, it was a good decision from Quat Noy. He was up and in. He knew, hold on, I'm going to get a foul here, or he's going to go right by me. So he gapped him. Made life a little bit tougher. Strong contact there. No whistle, but just the touch. The touch from Cook to kiss it off the glass, knock it in, and push this thing back out to a 2-possession game. It's one of the things when in the preseason, of course, throughout the regular season as well, when guys were out, big-time players are sitting out for whatever reason, you get to see just a little bit more of some other guys. So with no Creek for the Phoenix, you know, it really has been Tyler Cook going to work on the interior. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Gary Brown catching fire in this second half. And for the Sydney Kings, of course, some unbelievable talent to come back in. You talk about Jalen Adams and DJ Hogue, you know, an MVP, an All-NBL level performer. An MVP in Adams, All-NBL from Hogue. It was just a standout last season. So it's been a fun one, but big-time talent to come back in for both of these teams.
Kelsey Brown, come in. What was the message from Mike Kelly in the huddle?
Well, I said it before, but the Phoenix are up and about. They drew up this play. They want to make sure the defensive pressure is high. Mike Kelly said, no threes, no fouls. Get up in the lane. And here we go.
And that might do it. They get the turnover, and it'll be an unsportsmanlike foul on Denzel Valentine. And this should almost be enough to seal it for the Southeast. Most of the scouts think, though, they're out. They've seen enough. They'll be impressed with some players from both sides tonight. Makes the first. And the second, so 18 points for Ben Eck. He's been the third contributor behind Brown and Tyler Cook. They have 73 of the 93. Those three players. So the Kings look to foul. They're going to let it play out, try and trap. And they get the steal. Good hands from Tui. And the rejection from Cook, who's done it all tonight. 29 points, 9 boards, and finishes with the rejection. The Southeast Phoenix have found a way to win. Gutsy effort. The Kings were flying at half-time, but it was the Phoenix who had the big second half, and they get the job done, 93-86. In the end, a pretty enjoyable game, Liam Santamaria.
Very fun. Really fun. A tale of two halves, really, wasn't it? 51 points for the Kings in that opening half, and then what a response from the Phoenix. Defensively ramping it up. They kept them to 22 points in the third, and then went to a whole nother level. Just 13 points for Sydney in that fourth quarter, so really good defensive response from the Phoenix. And the Kings, man, they're fun in transition, but we saw in that second half, got some work to do with their execution in the half court.
Of course, no one's going to panic. Jalen Adams to come back in, DJ Hogue. Mitch Creek missing for the Phoenix, but I'm sure Mike Kelly will be pleased with the bounce back after their loss to Tasmania a couple of nights ago. Played a young squad for big parts of the game. They were led by Tyler Cook and Gary Brown, who got hot in the second half. He finished with 26 points, 6 of 11 from long range. Tyler Cook, as we said, 29 points, 9 rebounds. Defensively, was got it done. He played most of the second half with 4 fouls, and Ben Eyre stepped up with 18 points, and it was an even spread from the Sydney Kings. But if you take a look at some of the highlights, both coaches will have plenty they'll like, but also plenty to work on, and that's the whole point of these games as they fine-tune for round 1 in about 10 days' time.
That's one thing we learned from tonight, isn't it? We saw it in the first game, 18-11 from Tyler Cook, but he was just enormous in this one. 29 points, 9 boards, and you know, he's going to be an absolute star to begin this season. And Gary Brown, this is the type of scoring guard that the Phoenix know he can be. We know he was, you know, he's an outstanding distributor, league leader in assists, but can he tick the scoreboard over as well? And he got that job done big time in the second half today.
Well, that ends a wonderful night of basketball here, night 3 at the Blitz. Both Melbourne sides take the wins. Melbourne United defeating Illawarra, and the Southeast Phoenix defeating the Sydney Kings. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night as it continues. The New Zealand Breakers will be back in action against Tassie Jack Jumpers and then the Perth Wildcats will take on the Adelaide 36ers. Until then, enjoy your night. Thank you, Liam.